record. So as we were discussing the topics to be discussed today, we have in theory the dunning and returns to be discussed in business transactions, and apart from that, the configurations related to the hands-on class, we will be discussing main sub-transactions, then transactions for charges ISU, then company account assignment keys, then store company account determination key, then maintain payment terms, then define list category for account balance, then define line layout variants for account balance, then number ranges for security deposits. With this, we will be entering into business transactions. Till now, we were doing the basic functions, and when we talk about security deposits, it goes into business transaction. Then moving into define general parameters for security deposits. And finally, request reasons for securities. So all these things I have created with my customizations, and you can check out this document that I will be sharing with you after this class, and you can go ahead and go for your own entries. Further to that, I will be clarifying the contract account issue that you were facing. Yeah. So under a business partner, I have created a contract account.
Sir, in uh, how the data is stored in tables, will I get to know that also?
Yeah, definitely. That is a technical aspect that you are talking about. Uh, I will give you some lectures upon that, how data gets stored into table. I had mentioned earlier that it runs on the ABAP platform, this SAP for HANA instance, and all the data gets stored into the database, which is uh, uh, controlled by uh, MS SQL Server. There are many databases that we deal with in the industry. Like we have the Oracle database, which pertains to the Oracle apps ERP business, and for the SAP, we have the Microsoft SQL Server. and
Okay, sir.
all this data has their existence into tables, which is controlled by RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System. And whatever we are now entering in the front end, that is into these particular screens, gets stored into the backend tables. And every data that is entered, the business partner data, the contact account data, then the dunning data, have their tables. Table means the uh, virtual space in memory in which we store the data. Just hold on a moment, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah. So this, from a layman's view, is that we are doing some functions in the front end, and corresponding to that, all the data that we enter, the system stores that in some uh, place in the memory, and that memory location is in the database. And because everything is now in cloud, these databases resides in the server, and that server is connected to the cloud. So from anywhere you connect, you will be able to have a view of that particular data, and correspondingly whatever user is working from anywhere in the world, say you are working from Delhi, somebody is working from US, somebody is working from China, and all this data is entered into the same system, and you are getting a view of that particular data. Now going into a contract account create. This is a contract account that I created against the business partner Ahona Sengupta, and this contract account code was this, starting with 4, ending with 1, and having zeros. Contract account name is Tony Patekar FICA. Tolerance group, whatever Tony Patekar created in the contract partner came down over here. Payment terms came from the contract partner itself. Then in the next screen, I entered the input bank details. That is the bank detail that I created for the contract partner. And also I gave the output bank details. And finally, with all this information, the contract account got created. So that authentication key corresponding to your project work, which you are stuck with, I guess if you follow these steps, you could resolve that. And whatever you do, you try to share with me in that same way that you have been doing earlier. Now I will be moving into the classes for today, that is dunning. In dunning, we have dunning procedure, dunning levels, dunning activities, chart schedules, credit worthiness. So using the dunning program, under that we have cancelling a dunning run and dunning by telephone, followed by displaying the dunning history. Next, moving into the purpose of dunning with the component dunning, you can send payment reminders or dunning notices to your business partners automatically to remind them of overdue payables and to request payment. You can also trigger other industry-specific dunning measures, that is dunning activities. Features: dunning takes place in two steps with the dunning program. In the first step, the dunning program determines the contract accounts to be done together with the items due for dunning, the valid dunning procedure and related dunning levels for the individual items. So dunning levels can be of many types, that you send the customer a reminder first, then based upon that reminder, if the customer reverts back, then you give him a time period uh, between which he has to pay his dues, and then you send that to the bank. And if he doesn't pay, then you send the information to the bank to go to the customer for asking for the payment, and the bank goes to the customer, say $200 is pending from the customer. The bank gives him a notice. If the customer is having insufficient funds and he doesn't pay, then the bank uh, uh, creates a lock, and then it creates a return against that particular record. So there are many steps in dunning, which I just mentioned. Further to that, the dunning groupings in which the items were summarized. Rahul, just hold on for a moment. I have a guest. Ah. Yeah, Rahul.
Yes, sir.
So, as we were discussing about the dunning, these were the things till now that we have. Then, going into the dunning program, uses this information to create a proposal structured by dunning groups. In the second step, the dunning program triggers the relevant dunning activities for the individual dunning groupings. Further to that, in this slide, we have all the details pertaining to dunning. Then moving into how dunning is applied in the ISO industry. We have this particular menu headings based upon which you can check out in the SAP ERP how the dunning will be applied. And this is for the telecommunication industry. And similarly, this is the link for the same. And this is for the public sector, that is FS insurance rather, that is the FSCD. Then moving into returns. After dunning, we go into returns and we talk about returns lot, returns category, returns reason, and creditworthiness. Returns lot is when, for example, a customer issues a check and the check gets bounced in the bank. In that particular case, you have to go for return. And this is taken care of by this all scenarios like returns lot, returns category, returns reason, and creditworthiness. As we discussed in our earlier classes, that a customer is evaluated based upon his creditworthiness. If he is a good customer, his creditworthiness is low, that is 0. And if he, he is defaulting, then there is a high creditworthiness value, and that value can go up to 9999, 4 nines. We will check out all these categories one by one. Under return slot, we have definition. The return slot is a central object in returns processing. It is essentially a grouping of documents that were sent back by the house bank and are settled with the same bank clearing account. Data can be entered in the lot both automatically and manually. Structure. A return slot consists of a header that describes the lot. It contains administrative data and default data for the individual items. Now, default data that can be overwritten at item level includes the currency with which the return is posted, the posting and value date, and details on taxes and charges. The default data settings that you can make in customizing include document type, clearing reason, company code, screen variant, and selection category. The link for that is contract accounts receivable and payable. Under that, business transactions. Under that, returns. Under that, determine document type and clearing reason. Apart from the clearing reason, you can change these values manually at item level. So in today's configuration setups that I have shared in the day-wise class notes, you will be getting to see how we have gone into business transactions, and then in that we have first taken up security deposits, and all these things come one by one under that particular business transactions head. And in returns, further we have returns category, then moving into returns reason, then into the structure of returns reason, then creditworthiness. In creditworthiness, we have number of things to be kept into mind. That is, level of creditworthiness depends upon the initialization in customizing. The creditworthiness factor in percent, manual creditworthiness, number of running notices, returns, and write-offs. All these things come under how creditworthiness of a customer is determined. Prerequisites, time-dependent waiting, and how time-dependent waiting is evaluated. We'll check out that through this particular menu options. And creditworthiness is determined by these several factors like dunning, returns, write-offs, that's all. So under returns, when we came to creditworthiness, under creditworthiness, we talked about dunnings, returns, and write-offs again. And all this will be captured in today's class. I will be sharing this session with you. You try to make your understanding from this, and also I will be sharing this document with your email ID. So that's all I had to present today. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's call it a day. There are many things on your plate upon which you have to work, and we will sort out everything one by one.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. I will stop share and end the meeting.